So erotic symbolism is obvious in nature. The whole organic life is called Gaia. I call it Gaia. We call it Gaia traditionally. Is erotic symbolism. When you look at the tree, it's supposed to attract bees to fuck the flowers, which means it needs to give sweet juice to the bee, so the bee fucks this flower and goes fucks another flower of the tree 10 miles away, and this is how trees spread the pollen, right? So the nature itself is designed to be erotic. The biggest question Darwin had, for instance, why peacock is such a beautiful big tail. Tigers constantly, eat those peacocks, but peacock don't mind. He wants to have a harem of 10, 20 girls, he wants to fuck and reproduce. And the same goes for a rooster. It has this beautiful, and a lot of men are more beautiful than females. When you look at deer population, this motherfucker is growing, or elk, right? So it's the 6 feet of antlers. What for? It's heavy. It can damage your neck or something. They have those necks, very powerful. So nature is doing everything, even life risking technology or objective is what? To reproduce. As soon as you get her pregnant, you can die. And this is what spiders do, female, she gets pregnant with the male and she eats the big asshole. She doesn't need him anymore, right? And the same goes for everything in Mother Nature. So all the shapes you see in Mother Nature, they're actually designed, not only woman's vagina and men's dicks. No, woman's face is designed to be fucked, to be attracted, to be so attracted, like I'm attracted to my girlfriend, right? I want to be with her. I don't give a shit if we have children. I don't need any children. I just want to be with her. Yes, that's the point. That's the objective of Mother Nature. To make a commitment, to raise the children, to go make money so the wife can stay home and raise children and clean the house and whatever. So here is, for instance, vagina as a source of the universe. I mean, I came from vagina. I don't know where you came from. Maybe you're an alien. Maybe you're from Mars. You look like Martian, by the way. This fucking rock from Mars, it has organic life. Back in 97, they found the remnants of organic life, asteroid, meteor from Mars. So chances are DNA, RNA came to planet Earth from Mars. So this idea that vagina is a vortex where life comes from. And here again we have Gaia, an apple of temptation. Well, I make it apple, but it's basically idea of a fruit of Eden when Lucifer in the shape of a snake came to Eve and says, hey, take a bite. You will know something God knows. I know it, but you don't know it, stupid bitch. So, but if you take a bite of this apple, you will know everything. So she took a bite and she tells Adam, hey, listen, hubby, why don't you take a bite of this apple so we both will know what God knows? So God got pissed. You're not allowed to know what God knows, and kicked them out. So it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor of... I never thought about it, actually. What is this metaphor? I'll think about it some other time. But Lucifer is a very interesting character. And this is actually one of the most profound wisdoms. When God created a human out of clay, God says to all the angels, you bow to this creature. And Lucifer was the smartest and the most powerful and the best looking of angels. He says, what? I love you. I'm not gonna bow to this piece of shit made out of clay. What the fuck is this? Yeah, it looks like you, but it's a clay. And now God says, you're not gonna bow to, you're not humble. I'm gonna separate you into area where there is no God. And Lucifer said, oh yeah! So, the world is divided into people who pray humbly, who conceptually understand the spiritual is the origin of all material. This is not my words. This I'm quoting from Hinduism, 7,000-year-old wisdom. But the same wisdom is actually in Zoroastrian religion. That the material world you see is an illusion, Maya in Hindu, but it's also an expression of something that exists regardless. Well, it's hard to call it existence, because what we call existence is something you can touch. Well, this is an expression of the spiritual. Universe is a consciousness. Universe is nothing more but consciousness. And this is what quantum physicists come to realize. Half of quantum physicists believe in God. Literally, I talk to those guys. So again, this is my girlfriend with the ancient tattoo of the sun worshipper. Sun is the original deity for all religions. It's not just animism. It's not just Vedic. It's not just from the great steppes of Russia, where I come from, the pre-Indo-European languages, that they worship the sun. Sun is rising every day, and this is your God. Without sun, there wouldn't be any grass. You wouldn't have the cow milk, and you're going to die of hunger. There won't be any mammals to kill without a sun. Well, perhaps people didn't know that. But sun was always this constant, repetitive thing that rose every morning, which is not the same as the stars. Stars are changing locations, right? So stars are not permanent. And the other myth, which is the oldest myth in human civilization, it's estimated to be born about 25,000, maybe even 60,000 years ago in the great steppes of Russia in Siberia. And this myth went to Aboriginal Australians, everywhere, but not in sub-Saharan Africa. The myth is that Orion constellation is the hunter who hadn't eaten for 3 days, and he's chasing the gazelle, and the constellations change its position on the horizon. So over the year, over 12 months, the hunter is perpetually chasing the gazelle to kill her, to fuck her, and to eat her, right? The gazelle is the Big Dipper. So this is the oldest fairy tale myth in our civilization. And all other myths actually derive from this infinite, repetitive, never-stopping chase after pussy. Definition of life by Darwin, well, since the beginning of Darwinism is it alive? Well, the question is, can you eat it and can you fuck it? And the same goes for me. Can you eat me? Yeah, cannibals will gladly eat me, right? The worms eat me, dogs will eat me. Can you fuck it? Yeah, you fuck this guy. So this is the definition of life, which cannot be said about, for instance, those viruses, right? You can't fuck with them. They do it differently. They reproduce this differently. But the definition of life we know. I mean, if you eat virus, there is no benefit to you if you eat virus. It doesn't have any vitamins. So, for instance, it doesn't give you any energy like food. So, what am I talking about? Oh, I'm talking about the symbolism of the sun. So this is why sun tattoo was used in Siberia on the body of a shaman lady. She had those deer, and the sun symbolism is the oldest symbol of the sun is actually swastika, and it's 7,000 years old, and it's in the caves in India. It's carbon dated 7,000 year old. And the Nazis were using swastika, for their fucking purpose, misinterpreting symbols. Why am I talking so much about art? Because I don't want to be misunderstood. I don't want people to come to a museum and say, oh, this is such a beautiful abstract painting. Like you see these pages on Facebook, abstract art, and I'm looking at the fucking face, or still life, or a horse. It's not abstract, dude. Why did you put your fucking horse on the page, abstract art? It's not abstract. Abstract by definition, the shape doesn't resemble what we call realistic, okay? This is realistic, okay? You can tell this is a hat. But if you zoom in, you see a texture. That's abstract. So, the world is made out of abstract elements, which we know made out of vibrations, subatomic particles. And the atoms, atoms are not things, so anything we draw, like atoms, like different metals, different compounds, it's a symbol. That's not how it looks in real life. We don't know how it looks actually with real eyes. Well, apparently they're just vibrations, very symmetrically. So the world is made out of structures that are abstract. And then we come up with, we artists, we use those abstract elements such as texture of the heart, texture of the wall, the very texture of the paint to create what? To create reality. So this is what basically God is doing. God is taking abstract elements such as vibrations, atoms, and creates what? Well, creates reality. So this is the difference between abstract and realistic art and everything in between. Cubism is not abstract, okay? Cubism is analytical dissection of what you see. They started using drugs in the beginning of the 20th century. I don't know what Picasso was using. And they started dissecting reality. Two guys, Braque and Picasso, dissecting reality with a knife. And then we got this Modigliani I want to talk to you about. And okay, here's another vagina. So the idea is that I cut the acrylic pantyhose and I twist them the way I want them. I soak them in a rabbit skin glue or gelatin, and it becomes stiff. Not like a rock, but I can make it into a rock. And then I glue it and I flatten it, and it becomes a 3D vagina. And then I give it different interpretations. Is it on fire? Is there a tree growing out of it? Blah, blah, blah. But it's just an idea of creating a third dimension within. Okay, here's another vagina drawing. This is Gigi. She's a French supermodel, retired, and she and I were talking during COVID. I don't remember if we masturbated in front of the cameras, but she inspired this drawing and a few others. That was before I met my girlfriend. So again, this is a dog licking, here's a dick. So all of these symbols are symbols of erotic, this is erotic symbolism, but as you look around, you take a fish, it's a symbol of erotic symbolism. Because fish needs to get laid, and it needs to deposit its eggs, and so on and on and on. So this is the peacock paradox. Why peacock is risking its life by having such a big tail? Because it's worth it. Apparently it's worth it. Now, this is a symbol of sweet but dangerous. So this is what my girlfriend is. She's sweet and she's dangerous, right? My second wife is the most dangerous woman in America. Well, second most dangerous. Her girlfriend is the most dangerous woman in America. Also my art collector. Oh, here's a pig. Okay, so this is what I was making out of Play-Doh when I was 10, 9, 6 years old. I don't know why. We didn't have cows with big horns like this. I didn't see many cows in my childhood, actually. My grandfather kept goats, 2 goats, so I grew up on a goat milk. My grandma was giving me warm goat milk with flies to drink twice a day. And I'm addicted to goat milk. I go and buy goat milk almost every day and drink it on the way home. So do you want to put it aside?